In the morning when I rise, give me Jesus.
Hello again. Well, have you heard it this morning? If you listen very carefully, you can hear God saying to you, will you be my Valentine? Because the truth is, He loves you more than anybody else ever could. And He wants nothing more than to be in long-term, eternal, loving fellowship and relationship with you. Well, that's the foundation of Christianity. God loves you. He loves you so much that He sent Jesus. And so, will you be His Valentine? Scream yes and be united to Him, walking with Him in every step you take today. Well, yesterday we saw how Jesus said, my Father's house will be a house of prayer. Well, here's the deal, guys. God doesn't live in a building. No, He lives in you. In 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16, it says, don't you know you are the temple of God and the very Spirit of God dwells in you. See, your heart is a house of prayer for God. Paul said it this way, pray without ceasing. Your life is a life of prayer and even worship to God. Well, that's yesterday. Today, we're going to revisit the story about the fig tree that Jesus didn't find any fruit on. We're in Mark chapter 11, and today I'm going to read verses 19 through 22, and they say this. When evening came, they would go out to the city, and as they were passing by in the morning, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots up. The very fig tree that Jesus said, no man will ever eat from your fruit again. And it was withered from the roots up. Well, being reminded, Peter said to him, Rabbi, look, the fig tree which you curse has withered. I'm sure Peter was just shocked. Well, here's how Jesus responded. Jesus answered, saying to them, are you listening? Have faith in God. See, that's how you walk in victory in this realm. You trust God with every step that you take. Now, if you look at the Greek of that, another translation that is just as valid says, have the faith of God. Now, I really like that translation. If God says it, it is. And so if He says it through you, if your heart hears God saying it, you can believe it. You can have the faith of God, the surety that what He says is. Well, I like that translation because if you look at Galatians 2:20, there's a verse there that says, for I am crucified with Christ and I no longer live, but Christ lives through me. I love that part of the verse, but it goes on to say, and the life I live in this body, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave His life for me. I live by the faith of Jesus. Now, granted, that's the King James Version, but that is the translation that makes the most sense to me because Christ is living His life through me. So I don't even have to try to crank up faith. I let Jesus's faith be the foundation of my trust in God in everything. Well, I think most people would agree that God is faithful. So what I think Jesus is saying here is, let God be faithful in you. Well, Valentine of the Most High God, God bless you who trust the faithfulness of God, not just for things on the outside, but from the inside out, walking in unity and rich, loving, intimate fellowship and relationship with Him. I look forward to being with you tomorrow. We're going to talk about faith and prayer. It's going to be powerful. I'll see you then.
Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You can have all this world, but give Jesus.